I think merch design and graphic design as a whole is too easy now for various reasons that I'm going to get into in this video. And instead of just talking about it for 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes straight, I'm going to actually design something and kind of explain why I feel the way I do. And you may or may not agree with me, which is actually completely okay. I love that, because we can have healthy discussions in the comment section of this video. And normally I would prepare assets for these kind of videos so I don't have to bore you guys, but I decided to actually bore you guys because I think it's important for you guys to see kind of how I process the images, how I upscale them, kind of prepare them for design. So I just typed in Goonies merch just to kind of see what's already out there. And I also found the font Goonies. So this is on dafont.com. Already downloaded that, I just have to install it, I believe. And then I already have my artboard or document ready to go in Photoshop, which is just a basic ass document. It's 15 by 18 inches, same thing we've done a million times, 300 resolution, resample. You don't really got to worry about all that. Like back in the day, if I wanted to upscale an image, I'm kind of shit out of luck. But nowadays I have things like Gigapixel 8, which I've talked about on this channel. And all I have to do is drag my images into Gigapixel 8 and it will literally upscale them for me. It's super simple. And I'm gonna let it do its thing. We don't need them to be like massive. We can do 4 times, not 6 times we don't need. The larger the image, the better, obviously, because you're working with resolution and Photoshop is a raster-based program, software, whatever. It's important to note that because it's not a vector program, right? Like Illustrator. So it's not working with like complex mathematical equations. It's literally a bunch of pixels that are tiny. It's way better looking now. So we could just export these. It's really simple and you can actually see what size they are now. So where's it at? Oh yeah, right here. So this one's going from 960 by 640 to 3080 40 by 2560. Why did I say it like that? This is what I'm talking about when I say merch design is so easy now, like in design in general, because we have so many tools at our disposal to make our workflow faster and our life so much easier. And then we have, AI image generators, which is a whole different thing. Let's drag this folder over here. Invert the background first, because I don't want to work with a white background. I just like designing stuff for black. I'm kind of stuck in my ways, I guess. We're gonna drag all these images into Photoshop and we're just gonna throw a design together real quick. And I also need to go to my downloads folder because I have to download that font, which I think I've already done. So it's already installed, we're good to go. And I think it's just called Goonies. Simple, easy, I love it. So we have the photo of the cast here, which I actually like that one, but I like that one more. I like that one, I like that. That one's small still, so that didn't do shit to help us out. Merch design specifically in Photoshop is way too easy. Watch this. Remove background. It's gonna do a stellar job, I already know. See, I've done this a million times. Way too easy. Why is it that easy? That's insane. Anyway, wow. Back in the day, I would have to go through with the pen tool, the magnetic lasso tool, whatever I'm using, and cut around their hair, and then the hair would be a pain in the ass. You'd have to use like the refine edge tool. So we'll go ahead and remove the background on this one as well. We are going to have to blow that one up quite a bit. So maybe this will be like the focus of the design, which to be honest with you, I kind of do this layout a lot and I've kind of caught myself doing it way too much, but it just works. So yeah, there's that. And I kind of want to put a pirate ship in the background, like in the distance. So let's go ahead and type in Goonies pirate ship. And I want to try to get a photo of that as well. This one kind of works. We're just going to take this one and paste it into Photoshop. I think it's large enough. I don't need a lot of resolution from it. So we'll drag that behind everything. Anyway, not to get sidetracked, we have our main cast and we have, slots right here. So what we'll do is I'll just start blending in because I'm not worried about it. I'm going to use another tool that's going to make our life easier to basically give it that sharp pixel look. So when we go to print this with DTG or screen printing, whatever have you, it's not going to look like shit. And maybe we'll do some like stars or something in the background. Goonies, there we go. There's the font. See, it already looks so cool. Spacing needs to be improved for sure. All right, cool. So we have the Goonies and we could do whatever we want with this. Yeah, you know what? I want to off-center this. I don't want it to be centered. It's too typical. So I'm pressing Command or Control T if you're on a PC, and I'm unchecking this chain up here because I want this to be like really big like this. I just want to like extend the height of it, which is warping it, of course. And then we could do like an arc lower on a warp as well and do something like that. Let me make sense of everything we're doing so far. So really all I did was we found the images, we've upscaled them. I found a font. Everything's been really easy so far. again, design is way too easy now. The skill gap is so tiny, like, because we have so many tools to help us out. Really, it just comes down to your brain, the individual, right? Like how you think about design. There's IQ there, like there is design IQ. So you, like, for example, if I were to give you these exact assets, you're probably going to do something completely different with them. And that's just the nature of how design works. Like everyone thinks differently, right? So like if you could change your mindset and like get better at that as a skill, that's what you should be focusing on. That's the skill. You have to train your brain to think differently about design. It's really not even about like the tools anymore because they're so easy to use. Like I removed the background in 5 seconds like that. Anyway, it's insane. Like it's way too easy. Maybe we'll go find like a night sky or something, or a pirate ship, something in the distance. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Something like this. And then we can extend it because that's kind of the colors I was going to go for anyway. So really what we want to do is just extend this much more. So I'm going to go here, go generative fill. Again, this would have been impossible in the past. Like this would have been so hard to do. It's way too easy. It really is. And if you don't agree with me, then you're stupid. No, I'm kidding. So we're just going to extend that right part. We don't really need the bottom. I just want that pirate ship to kind of be seen, obviously. And now let's just go ahead and start painting the background out where we want it, or should I say where we don't want it. And then the Goonies text is fine. I'll probably start doing something else to it though. Like I want to add like a stroke to it. So we'll go outside, make this black, something like that looks pretty good. And we'll add another stroke on the outside of that. And we'll make it red. And then from here, I'll duplicate the text, merge it. So I'm doing Command E, and then I'm just going to select the white, paste that, and then I can use this for some texture as well. So we can go here and just add like some sort of like gradient or something. There we go. Make it red, that's fine. Look at that. And actually we'll make it yellow because I think that would complement everything. Yeah, I like that. I like how bold it is. It's actually really bold. And all we have to do is add the texturing, which is again, so simple now thanks to plugins like mine, AutoThresh. So we're gonna use AutoThresh right now. With AutoThresh, you can work in the same document that you're designing in, or you could duplicate it and copy it into a new document, which I recommend you do, but you don't have to. And all we have to do is open it, and we wanna select dark background, obviously because we're working on dark fabric. And then from here, we just wanna change the colors to what we want. And then we just want to simply choose a pattern type. I'll go emulsion 1, I really like this one. And we'll just click apply and see what it looks like. And then from here, we can just start making tweaks. And one thing that I've started to do recently, oh, that already looks so good, by the way. One thing I started to do recently is I started diving into the smart object and actually color separating manually to introduce other colors. So you could do that as well. If you guys are interested in that, the thought of that, let me know and I'll make a dedicated video. Sometimes with AutoThresh, you have to experiment too. Like when you're applying strokes, for example, that are red, you just kind of want to be cautious of that because sometimes the color won't pick up the way you think it's going to. So I'm going to make those that white instead. And I'll do the same thing for the bottom text. So we're just going to keep it simple and try to run it one more time and see what that does. So duplicate everything and apply that same exact preset that I've already made for myself here. When you're working with AutoThresh, it's important to keep a lot of those highlights in there because if you don't have enough highlights and let's say there's more midtones and shadows, it's going to make your image look really flat. So you definitely have to be cautious of that. And that's kind of what I'm experiencing right now. There's just not enough detail. So I'm going to actually convert this image right here to a smart object. But before I do that, I'm going to duplicate it so I have a backup, convert it to a smart object, and then we can drag the shadow layer over to the kids here and bring out those highlights. And it looks like that's way better. So now let's go ahead and duplicate everything and try AutoThresh one more time. And that should help the specular highlights and the highlights in general. There you go. See, now it looks a little better. Let's say you do want to keep the red stroke. That's completely fine. You could do that. So all we have to do to keep the red stroke, let's say if we want it to be on Never Say Die, all you do is duplicate it. You want to merge it. And then you just want to select the stroke only. Okay. So we're just literally taking that stroke and selecting it. And then we're going to go back to the AutoThresh layer, double click on it, and that's going to open up the smart object. And then from here, we can literally just add any color background, doesn't really matter at this point. We'll make it black though so we can see everything. Yeah, so in the highlight range, we could probably just duplicate this. Actually, it's not going to be in this range, I'm sorry. It's going to be in the highlight 2 range. Yeah, right here. So we're just gonna duplicate that, clip it. Now that I have that second highlight copy, so this is highlight 2 by the way, I'm going to press Shift Command V because I've already pasted the stroke or copied the stroke, and I'm just going to name this stroke. So now if I invert it, you can see where that is. So I'm just going to basically make a selection of it, and we're going to invert this. We're going to invert this layer first, and then I'm going to paste white on top of this because that's going to delete it out of the black. And then we can change the color to this color right here. So I just want to copy that color code. You can also just use the color picker. And there you go. Now we have that same exact red. You could do the same thing for Goonies. Let's go do it real quick. It's really simple. So this is basically the video I was going to make, but I just decided to show you guys now. Cool. So we have the strokes. We forgot one right here. All right, cool. Copying that. We don't need to make another highlight 2 color because we already have one. So I just want to paste, and we can make a selection of our character here, and then we can actually paste that and then use that as a mask here to get rid of what we don't want to show, because obviously we want that stroke to remain behind him. There we go. Now everything is looking good and we can save this. All right, cool. So I have my texture, just gonna drag that on top here. And I think I put that all the way at the bottom. Yep. So let's drag it above everything, which obviously needs to be above auto thresh. And then we do this, we change the blend mode, and then we're done. It's that simple, guys. We have that texture. So if you want to delete the background really easily, just go to color range, and you want to make sure that you choose shadows, and then you just want to make sure it's not inverted, press OK, and then delete, and that will get rid of the background for you. Or you could just use the magic wand. I really like this Elwood blank that I just made, and this is actually on my website if you guys want to pick it up. So now that I have my design, I could just basically paste it into the artwork folder. Now there's a lot of things I could do different. Like I can make the text look more like less perfect because it's a little perfect right now. Like it doesn't look like it's like aged, right? You'd want to use like a displacement map or something, which I have a plugin for that too. I just didn't get into that in this video. I hope you take this from this video. We all use the same tools to design. The only thing that separates us or separates our work from one another is the thought process that goes behind these designs. Like obviously there is a skill level when it comes to using tools too. I'm not trying to say that you don't have to have any skill to use the tools, but with the use of AI and everything else now, it is definitely getting easier. So anyway, quick video for you guys. My name's Charlie Pangus. If you guys want like a vlog about the new house and stuff, let me know. A lot's changed in my life, and I feel like I don't even know you guys anymore. I've been gone for so long, so I would love to hear from all of you again. Hopefully get the channel back up and running. That we'll see. I can't promise, but you know, all I can do is try. So the more you guys comment, the more you guys hype me up, the more I want to keep making videos, and we're all happy. So yeah. All right, guys, that's it. I'll see you in the next one.